Disclaimer, I do not dislike CinemaSins, and that is not a lie. For my next Everything Wrong with Simpsons video, I'm going to be sending that video on the Simpsons Movie, and I'd like to give a shout out and thanks to my friend Parker Boyle for requesting this video.
Did Ralph get up here when everyone knows that the stairs to the top of the 20th Century Fox logo were bombed out long ago, and the elevator was destroyed during the making of Speed?
He's just on the logo because this is the Simpsons Movie. Similarly, the 20th Century Fox logo for the Squeakquel was this.
I can't believe we're paying to see something we get on TV for free.
By the way, this is either the Itchy and Scratchy movie that was so successful in an earlier episode of The Simpsons, or it's the Itchy and Scratchy sequel. Whatever the case may be, Homer famously punished Bart by not letting him see the Itchy and Scratchy movie, and he didn't get to see it until he was much older and had become a Supreme Court justice. Homer even told the theater not to sell a ticket to Bart, and a sight gag showed that the notice was still in the box office years later, so that episode of television lied to me. I don't think I'll ever be able to trust TV again.
Bringing up an episode from the show doesn't make it a sin of this film.
We've been playing for 3.5 hours.
Green Day.
Pointing things out on the screen.
Pulled that cartridge out while Bart was playing the game. That could seriously damage the Game Boy.
It actually didn't get damaged because Maggie is playing the game later on.
Wait a minute! I'm still in the car! Oh, right.
Wow, he was able to use his power windows without the car running. That's impressive.
So, no sin removal?
I'll teach you to laugh at something that's funny!
CinemaSins haters.
There you have it, guys. Jeremy said he's aware that people hate his channel. But does he try to improve? Nope.
Falls, couldn't that make your boy a paraplegic-reno?
I'm sure paraplegic people enjoy receiving the Flanders Reno treatment.
Jeremy says something random that makes no sense cliche.
Lisa strikes out at trying to raise awareness regarding the contamination of Lake Springfield. Even B-Man cares not for the environment. Que lastima!
Jeremy explains the scenes and says something random again, cliche.
Where the leaky faucet can waste all...
Lisa falls in love with an environmentalist boy storyline. You already did it in the show with Joshua Jackson and the huge tree, remember?
So, Lisa has had many relationships throughout the show.
Pulling out a gun for this reason.
Well, they have to stop Bart somehow.
I had the fries at 3 times the volume they were when the Flanders sat down. And even if this is some Red Robin French fry refill they wouldn't fill it 3 times as high on a refill.
Probably because they just ordered more fries.
Add Homer's uvula cam to the list of things I never asked to see and might consider suing him.
So you liked that Bart's private was shown, but would complain if Homer's uvula was on screen? Which it isn't.
You can't kill him if he's wearing people clothes!
He's wearing a people hat, not people clothes.
A hat is still clothing.
How about I fix you some cocoa?
No way. Cocoa's for wusses.
Well, sir, if you change your mind, it's on the windowsill.
But you just asked him if he wanted you to make some cocoa for him. How do you already have cocoa prepared? And why can you make cocoa in your bedroom?
Fix up does not mean make. What he meant was that he'd get it prepared for Bart. And maybe he made cocoa for Rod and Todd to answer your other question.
The pig tracks get on the ceiling.
Spider Pig, Spider Pig.
How did she not hear this or see this before now?
Sending this funny scene.
That kid playing a f***ing dobro.
Yes.
Honestly, I feel like Springfield is even lucky to have a hazardous waste treatment center in town. But it seems way too busy if you ask me. Busy enough to be suspect.
Well, it's busy since the citizens need better ways of waste disposal.
Health inspector just shut down the donut store and they're giving out free donuts.
That is not how it works when the health inspector shuts down a restaurant. She doesn't walk in and say, gee, I see so many violations that people could get sick from this product. Let's close the store, but give away all the already made and probably contaminated product to people on the street for free. And maybe that's the joke, and yeah, Homer would still eat contaminated donuts, but Jesus, find a better reason to get Homer out of line at the waste place.
The citizens of Springfield won't care because the donuts were free. Also, Homer loves donuts, so this is a good tactic.
That's a lot of helicopters, but they are using suction cups, so this would never work.
Not our reality, Jer.
Up on your right. Nothing.
Right, when GPS updates its maps that fast, you let me know. Yesterday, mine told me to drive through a cow field to get to my destination.
This is an example of what Russ was talking about. And also, Jeremy says something random cliche.
Crab silo is definitely traceable to Homer. What doesn't compute, however, is how they would be able to determine that this was the final piece of pollution that got the town domed. They didn't carbon date that so how do they know this wasn't part of the pollution before the mayor's order?
Well, after Lisa's meeting, everyone cleaned the lake, and it became extremely polluted after the silo was dumped in, which resulted in the town being dumped. How does this not make sense to you?
And if I open the door, they'll take all of you.
No, we won't. We just want Homer.
Man, this angry mob's hearing, at a distance, through a second-floor window, has been amazing in this.
This is another case of Jeremy sending something he likes without taking a sin off.
Bloodthirsty mob uses child labor.
Pointing things out on the screen.
Thankfully for the plot, they carry the car to the Simpsons' own backyard to, holy Christ, they're planning to hang them?
This then makes it seem like this is your first time seeing this movie when your other videos show that you've seen the films more than once.
What do we do?
Now we run.
I'm honestly surprised Homer's family goes with him. None of them deserve the hate, and they have to be upset at him for dumping sewage in the lake after the ban on dumping sewage in the lake.
Cutting something out of the video to pretend the movie doesn't address it. Again, what Jeremy doesn't show is that Marge says this to Homer.
We pay every resident $1,000 to allow the oil companies to ravage our state's natural beauty.
How the does he know that the Simpsons are going to be residents, or that they're even new residents?
Well, yes, they didn't tell him. They appear to be moving into Alaska.
Passing the time.
Passing the time by causing ecosystem-altering events.
Pointing things out on the screen again.
Asshole animals broke into the cabin expressly to help Homer and Marge have sex. And now that they're seeing it happen, they recoil? You knew what you were getting into when you started this.
Probably because they assumed something else would happen based on their reaction. Or, that's the joke.
Simpsons fudge text whenever they can, and that's a sin.
That's not text, it's grass.
Grand Theft Walrus might be the laziest joke in this entire movie.
Seriously? I laughed at this when I first saw this movie.
This movie is full of lazy imagery, like the heart ice chunk that immediately breaks down the middle just after Homer's heart is broken. We get it! You can draw things to match the things!
Really? This is lazy? This represents Homer's feelings perfectly.
Man, these ants weren't helpful at all. In fact, they're f***ing up a good ayahuasca trip.
Actually, they were helping. They kept slapping Homer to help him find the right epiphany.
Think if the image of the EPA guy looks to the left, that no EPA people or devices will see them climbing the bomb rope. And they're right! Why would EPA cameras be trained to only look at what the boss on screen is looking at?
Because Russ is shown to be the only person to appear on the cameras.
You, science!
Not our reality.
And millions of tiny shards of glass rain down on Springfield, causing untold injuries and illnesses over the coming decades.
Except that's not true, as Dr. Nick was the only one who got injured.
Celebrating a hero when he was the villain in the first place.
Well, he just saved everyone from getting blown up.
Oh my god, her first word! Sequel?
These assholes made Maggie's first word sequel.
Actually, her first word was daddy, according to the episode Lisa's First Word. Here's the end result, everybody. The sin total was 262, and the sentence will be dome on the comb. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have a nice day.